I don't think they know that the other is streaming.
What's it
It's so
called?
bad.
That whole game, I could just imagine Steady being like, "What is Stinky doing? What is?" I was, dude. All I was trying to do was get out of that game as fast as possible without
Yeah. Yeah.
going.
So
Yeah, that was.
I feel like they're talking about things that I shouldn't do, but I need to set this up before I leave.
Playing punt defense, bro, because you can't move on punt defense.
So you guys can see this?
Uh, yes.
Yes, sir. We can.
All right. So I'm gonna mute my mic and hop on.
Yeah, just make it big.
Yep.
Did you start live streaming on the MKL YouTube?
Yep. We're good, man.
All right. We ping everybody real quick before we start region.
All right, so they're both going to be in here for the stream.
We can just here. I'll server F in both of them
because this is Nico's stream, but Steady has to be in there, so you can mute them from hearing the stream.
Yeah.
A very interesting
Steady.
plan. What?
Apparently, they can't hear us. Apparently, which is
They're not supposed to hear us.
Why can't that? What do you mean they're not?
Oh, Steady may have to hear us. Steady may have to hear us in order to.
Okay. Let me see. Let me ask Ducky if it works now.
Dude,
He doesn't work.
I'm listening to the stream. Yeah, I can hear.
We had server
I can hear it on my phone. I just pulled it up.
Steady may have to hear us.
Okay,
So we're good.
Okay.
I will not have the stream pulled up when I'm playing, but I just pulled it up on my phone because he said he couldn't hear, and I can hear you guys on my phone. So
Sounds
Okay.
good.
okay,
So they can't hear us.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
can you guys hear me?
we can hear you, Ducky. Welcome to the booth. Ducky, this is a game that's,
Sure.
any of us would think Steady might run away with this game, but it does appear that Steady does seem like he has a chance of losing. He has said that he's kind of scared of Nico getting the ground game going. Do you think Steady's at upset alert at all?
I mean, there's definitely a chance. You know, Nico's got a great team. He's got a strong run game. If he gets out to an early lead, I think maybe Nico could run away with it. But Steady, I think, will remain the overwhelming favorite in this one.
How about you,
I
Rachel?
think, yeah, I think Steady has to be careful to not, make maybe some uncharacteristic mistakes or even fall prey to some mistakes that Nico is capable of maybe forcing him into. Sometimes you can go into a game overconfident, and this is a 96 overall squad. They are not untalented, and definitely, if Nico can get ahead, it's going to be hard to maybe just completely shut down that run game behind the best offensive line maybe the MKL has ever seen. A phenomenal offensive line, and a superstar quarterback that can play off the offensive line with a strong run game with James Cook. There's a lot to like about this Bears team. The defense came to play against the Cowboys, really making it tough for the Cowboys to score, especially in the red zone. And that's something interesting for Steady, because oftentimes when we see Steady get to the red zone, he'll say things like, "Well, this is the hardest place to score from," and that's exactly where Nico was able to have success against Blessed in that playoff matchup prior. So I like Steady's chances. I think Steady is a Super Bowl favorite, at the very least an NFC favorite. He's just a very talented Madden player, and his team has only improved. But this is a tough Bears team, and if Nico comes to play and has the right game plan, it could be really interesting. Where is Steady?
I think we're still waiting on him.
I think the glitch is
we're looking.
and Doc, it was a little hard for us to get into our game. Maybe it's like a thing across EA
It's
servers.
because maybe, but I think I've noticed it more with this cross-platform thing. There you go. Steady's in. 91 overall team versus a 96 overall team. It doesn't always tell the story. Sometimes players are not at the position they play, so it kind of nerfs the overall. Both teams are very talented, but I'm looking at the quarterback position, and I see that the Corey Jackson is the MVP of this league, MVP last year, and he took the reins from Brock Purdy when Fridge left the league, and this is a tall task for this Bears defense, but Justin Fields has come into his own this year, has kind of reached the talent level of Desmond Ridder as far as abilities go and talent, and arm talent. So it's interesting to see what plays Justin Fields can make to offset the offense for Nico and his run game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, physically, there's only one QB than Justin Fields, so I mean, we'll see how they come out here.
Now, I think Steady. Yeah, Steady's a big proponent, a big fan of receiving the ball at half. So I think he's already in his book, he's winning so far. What about you guys?
We're turning off the in-game commentary so that we're not competing with it, and that's cool. That's really nice.
You too. What are you guys?
Nico's aware of that.
Would you guys rather get the ball first or ball at half? I assume ball at half, right?
Always ball at half.
I typically receive, but I think getting the ball at half is probably the better strategy.
You said Ducky?
I usually do end up receiving. Usually all the regular season, I like to get out to like a hot start, like shake any rust off.
Okay. It's interesting.
I mean, hey, the Bills in a recent game, I think maybe the one they won.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it was against you, maybe Ducky. But in that game, he didn't touch the ball for the whole half. I think he had 2 pick sixes. So his offense wasn't really on the field. So actually receiving can maybe help you get into a rhythm. And if you don't get the ball first, sometimes maybe you can, like you said, get a little rusty, feel a little out of sync.
Yeah. I mean, I started out that game poorly, but like just keeping Spit off the field that long, I think that really helped me defend him. Like he only ended up with like 100 passing yards that game.
So 2 runs open up a nice manageable 3rd and 3. Everything's on the table. And like I said, this is a quarterback that has all the same abilities as Desmond Ridder. You can see him on the move. You can see him just hand off the ball here maybe. But I think we might see Fields' first pass attempt. It looks like he is going to maybe have the run. You can't get there, and he's not going to be able to go for this unless he fakes it. Looks like he's going to be in the punt formation, and we're going to see our first possible punt of the game. So 4th and 2, we have number 17 going for the punt here. And it looks like it's a hike to the halfback, and he might get this.
Oh, I don't think he got there.
Wow. That's the early gamble. And Nico, when it fails, would you guys have fake punted this early in the game?
I don't think this is a good time to do it.
I love the aggressiveness against someone like Steady, and to be honest, this EA situation with inches, I mean, that player looked like he was fighting right there, and to not get the first down is pretty tough because he seemed to have a good shot at it.
Looked like he missed the hole a little bit, but I mean, we'll see Steady nearly get a first down right there. Corey Jackson.
If you allow Corey Jackson to get going, it's going to be a long day for the Bears. They have to find some way to disrupt Corey because he knows what to look for when the routes are able to develop over a period of time. He loves Josh Jacobs, this newfound Eagle that he brought in this year. It was actually his recent games. He's been his leading receiver at times. So like that's something that Nico's going to have to try to zero in on. Defending the running back out of the backfield as a pass catcher. So we have the Eagles in the shotgun. Corey Jackson knocking on the door after that fake punt fail right on the inch marker, and he is going to hand it off. Not something you see Steady do all the time, but it pays off. A really monstrous run there of 11 yards, and he might be obliged to just hand it off again. What do you think, Steve?
I think guys like Steady who during the playoffs, during the regular season, I mean, they'll go for the stats. But I think come playoff time, Steady just wants to pound this rock, and he's going to run the ball in here. Would you agree, Ducky?
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, you just saw what Josh Jacobs did right there. There's no reason to take the ball out of his hands on the goal line. Run it 3 times, and I mean, we will see a pass here. It does look bagged.
Oh,
wow. What a throw.
Corey Jackson a crossbody.
Yeah,
Corey
crossbody
Jackson able to make some plays off the script right there.
That looked like Aaron Rodgers just kind of flicking it crossbody right to an open man in the middle of the field. And when the first score is Steady, and Nico, after a decent first go, some forward positive run plays, is unable to get the first down, and Steady's able to capitalize. So Nico is going to have to call a pass probably here at some point this game, but he goes with the early runs early.
If you're Nico here, this is exactly what you didn't want. You don't want your offense to become too predictable, and if he gets forced into some passing situations, I think this game could become ugly pretty early.
Do we think Nico has a little bit of nerves right now? I mean, I don't think he's ever played in a game in this round before, in like the divisional round. I mean, he's 2 games away from being in a Super Bowl if he can win them. I'm sure some nerves are kicking in. And I'm sure for somebody like Steady, who's he's used to this spot, he's used to being in Super Bowls, he's used to winning Super Bowls. I'm sure like there's no nerves. I'm sure he feels fine right now.
It's advantage Steady as far as the experience goes, but I will say that in a very competitive league that I ran previously, Nico had made a Super Bowl and had some decent playoff runs in previous games. So maybe you can reclaim a bit of that experience as he tries to get this back on track. But we're maybe going to see
I'm liking this play.
A pass play, nice play.
Yeah, I love that.
That's what he's got to do. I had a pretty close battle against. I had a close battle against Nico in a game prior, and he was able to pick up short pass after short pass. Like he has a short passing game success. If he's able to mix that with the run game, maybe we might see his first score in this drive.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it was there, but unfortunately for him, he can't get it over that defender. Maybe could have highballed it, but that's a difficult read. A lot of us who have been trying to figure out how to pass in this game have to figure out how to read these guys that will undercut these routes.
I mean, that's just a throw. You can't make it there. 1st and 10, I would have liked to see him stick to the run game, stick to what's working. I think now it starts to get scary. You really have to hold him to 3 here in order to stay competitive in this one.
I mean, no matter what he does here defensively, a turnover would be grand, but, I mean, his offense has to get going. If he can get a turnover score, that would be great for him. It might happen here. Indeed, it's going to be an interception. Ill-advised throw by Steady. And that might be the momentum that Nico needed, and I'm sure he just wishes he could have returned that one.
And Steady is not a guy to usually make mistakes, so this is big for Nico. He's gonna get the ball at the 8-yard line. Now he needs to lock in here. Have some good plays.
Yeah, definitely. So we see Nico back under center, and he's trying to on his own goal line. This is an interesting spot. I don't want to telegraph. I think we should all try not to telegraph.
That was a scary throw. I don't know about you guys. I saw I saw
was
it
a little
early,
scared there.
and then I saw Steady start running to it, and I was like, okay, he's gonna throw the corner. That was a little scary for me.
Yeah, maybe Nico's getting a little bit looser. Maybe he's going to be able to capitalize here and get something going, get some confidence building.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. We know Nico loves stretch plays. It's just tough. He's unable to break to the outside there. Steady just has fast linebackers. He's able to counter that really well. I think that's going to discourage him from running it a bit, but we'll see what he does.
Circle is open. He's not going to throw it to circle. So he kind of passes up on it, and he is out of bounds there. Really unfortunate. Doesn't really trust downfield. I've been in that situation before, and sometimes you just have to trust that your quarterback's going to make that deeper throw, despite some coverage in front of him. And unfortunately for him, it's going to be a 3rd and 6.
I mean, Justin Fields, he's got sideline and inside dead eye, so I mean, he would have been able to make that throw. I'm just not sure he even saw it.
He could have maybe taken off and scrambled there, but unfortunately for him, he's going to take a short completion and have to punt it away. So, crisis averted for Steady. We're unlikely to see another fake.
I don't think so. I think you can only fake once a game.
Yeah. That's those rules maybe could be rethought, reworded, this and that, but yeah, it's generally fake once a game, but onsides can happen pretty much whenever you're losing in the second half or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, you go.
We're gonna go ahead and see Steady get the ball back, and this is a big possession. If you're Nico, you gotta get a stop right here. You gotta hold strong. Steady's gonna run the ball here with Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs, I know you were talking about him earlier, how Steady was extremely hyped about him coming over in the offseason. This is a guy who he carries people around, and he also has that. I don't know if you guys know, but that backfield mismatch ability, I think that's a really important ability, considering a lot of people in this league, they do use linebackers. In the middle, a lot of people have lurkers. I think that's a little bit of it. Ooh, it's a dot by Steady.
Yeah, I was scared that was going to get picked there, but, I mean, it looked like Corey Jackson was able to just get it over that defender.
And, I think Steady is do you think we're going to see more runs from him than we normally do, or do you think we're going to see still more of the pass-centric, Ducky?
I think I can not imagine Steady would ever be one to go away from the pass here. It looked like he was trying to throw it deep there, but just did not get it off in time. But yeah, I think Steady's going to stick to what he knows, pass for pretty much the entirety of the game. We might see a couple runs sprinkled in here and there and on the goal line, but
yeah, I know that pick earlier.
That
pick earlier was kind of shocking because we all know Steady's not wanting to make a bad read. And wow, he tried clicking. Did he not try clicking on? That was weird.
I think he tried clicking on, and it kind of took his receiver out of the route or something.
I think he tried to come back to block it. That was catch. I mean, that was really weird. I'm surprised that they just didn't let him get it. Big 3rd and 10 here. Steady drops back. You got to watch the dig if you're Nico.
Another pick. Wow.
Pick.
This is not the Steady we've seen all season. I'm impressed so far with how Nico's been able to shut down his
and
offense.
Nico's defense, it just shut down Blessed a week ago. This might be a defense that's flying under the radar here, Steady throwing picks is it's kind of like a collector's item for Steady. He doesn't throw many of them, and Nico's got 2 already through almost a quarter in 20 seconds.
Nico needs to find field goal range on this drive. I think that's going to be huge if he can at least get some points on the board with these turnovers. If he can't cash in, I mean, these interceptions are never going to matter.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see Justin Fields start to roll out more, maybe get some yards on a scramble. We know he's got 97 speed or 93 speed, I believe. So, I mean, he's one of the QBs who, if he gets on the run, you're scared that he could take it all the way.
Yeah, I think we saw him pass up on a scramble up the middle last drive that I think he could have gotten the first down on. So Fields using his legs could be beneficial, but Steady is one to seemingly know that, if he's playing a mobile quarterback, that he's going to do things a little differently. But really nice find there by Nico, and field goal range has been accomplished, but I'm sure he's thinking touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Fields in the shotgun, all those star offensive linemen in front of him. Steady kind of has a dime defense that he adores. I don't know how good it can be against this offensive line, but so far it seems like it's been pretty good. The passing game has opened up for Nico here after one regrettable interception throw. He is moving the ball. Do you guys think he can get into the end zone here? And if so, is it going to happen through the air?
I think Nico just needs to stick to his run and don't force any bad passes. That's going to be the big thing for Nico on this drive, I think. Especially like here on third down.
You're out of your sticky there, especially in this situation. You just want to get any points you can. I mean, trust your defense. It's been able to get stopped so far. If you can put 3 on the board, that'd be huge right now.
Yeah, definitely. So if Fields out of the shotgun, Steady in his prototypical dime defense, this is an intimidating defense to be thrown against. And he throws it downfield to an open man who is going to get the knockout. Heartbreaking for Nico because it was a really nice find, really nice throw, but that's why you go and get your knockouts to make throws like that a little bit more difficult. Just probably needed another millisecond hanging on to it and won't get knocked out. But he is going to settle for the field goal and hopefully gained a little bit of confidence there because he did make a good throw, good decision. Maybe going to be considering those knockouts and different ways to pass lead and maybe get down and avoid hits.
Yeah, if you know Steady, you know he loves his knockouts. He's always like, oh, my God, knockouts are so good. They're so great. And that's showing you why he loves saving 7.
Yeah, that is why he went and got his outside zone knockout, and I think that's exactly what came through for him there. So Steady under the shotgun or under the center. He's maybe going to hand off. No, he's going to do a play action. I don't see much, but he is going to let it rip.
I don't know what Steady's doing right now.
Yeah, Steady is.
He had Jacobs wide open underneath, and he just decides to force it down the field in double coverage. I mean, that's just a read you can't make on this stage.
This is extremely uncharacteristic.
Uncharacteristic throws from Steady, but it is making for a more interesting ball game as Nico has failed to get into scoring range a couple times, but the 3 turnovers have him knocking on the door of possibly taking the lead, which would be an interesting development to say the least. He has the X route, and he's going to misthrow it.
God.
Oh, wow. So he had the
that's
throw.
Heartbreaking right there.
Yeah.
That's awful.
It was an under pressure misthrow, so the pressure gets to Fields there. And pretty heartbreaking for Nico because the throw was there.
Yeah, it looked like that was going to be Nico's big break to get him back in the game and maybe even in the lead. He hit the right guy. It's just very unfortunate that they got picked.
Under pressure is a powerful thing to have happen to you. And definitely it happens to everybody. It happens to most people across the league in varying situations. You're going to see maybe a Corey Jackson that is going to settle down a little bit. He's been throwing a lot of interceptions, like you said, very uncharacteristic for Corey Jackson. But I don't think Steady passes less when his passing isn't working. I think he passes more to prove that his passing can work.
And again, he's going to throw a pick.
Wow. The pick is dropped. Byron Murphy was somebody who I have it on good authority. The Falcons were after. And the Bears actually went and got him for a similar role in this defense, and doesn't come down with the ball there though. Steady does find the open man there, and there's that man, Mr. Ridley, big old 6'6" fella, a lot like the McDougal that you see in the Dolphins uniform. Just a big, fast, talented receiver. And,
yeah, I mean he's 6'8". There's some controversy over him this offseason, but.
Steady's in the shotgun. Is just going to throw it away. And Nico, missed opportunities for Nico. But once again, I'll say he made a connection on the prior thing and it got knocked out. Then this one he throws to the open man and gets an under pressure interception. I think he's making some pretty decent decisions if he can keep that up. But unfortunately for him, Steady may be done making poor decisions. Nice find there. And now he is in the part of the field Steady doesn't like. If you're listening to Steady on stream, if he's doing that, he's probably saying something like, "Oh, the worst place in the field to be." He hates being in this spot, but you might just see a handoff here because Josh Jacobs seems like the sort of guy you want to have the ball in this spot. No, he does get tackled there.
You know, I just want to say Nico is, when it comes to developing D-line, this guy is like amazing at it. He turned George Karlaftis, Felix Anaduke, I don't know what his last name is, and some like other guy. He made them all like X factors himself. Like this guy can develop the D-line. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Nico, you can't be too discouraged right now. You should have had a pick on this drive, and you've been holding steady as good as anyone has this year.
I mean, the worst thing that he's looking at right now is probably 2 scores from Steady in the first half at this point. So whether it's 3 or 7 here, his defense, if you can hold Steady to 14 or 10 points, or maybe even 7, who knows, in the first half, you're doing something well. His offense has just really held him back so far, and truthfully, controversial stuff. So I too agree that Nico is a very good team builder and he's very good at developing talent other people may not see. Josh Jacobs is muscling forward. Wow, what a fight!
Wow,
what a fighting effort!
I was just about to say, I think we would have seen Steady take his 3 there if he didn't get in, but that's huge. Doesn't even have to go for 3.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Jacobs, Steady is in love with this guy. Maybe not always running with him is he in love with him, but that sort of moment might come back to, Steady might in big moments start to say, you know what, Josh, I'll let you have a carry here. I'll see what you can do. As much as he loves Corey Jackson, Josh Jacobs is probably making an even bigger fan out of Steady today.
Yeah, I mean, right now you got to go with what works. And, Josh Jacobs, he's been making plays throughout this game so far. I think if you're Steady, you got to keep relying on him. Maybe pass the ball less than you normally do, considering how it's gone.
I'm very interested to see Nico on another drive here to see if he can get back into scoring range. Even a field goal to end the half.
Yeah, I mean,
really nice for this Bears team.
If you can put any points up on this drive, that would be massive for your chances of winning this game. Keep it a 1-score game. It looks like he had the wheel route. He decides not to go for it.
Oh my God, he juked from a quarterback.
Juking.
You love to see it.
Goes up the field for 17 yards. He's about 20 yards
steel.
away for. Yeah, I mean, I like that play right there. I mean, Justin Fields, he's not as much as a threat to fumble as other QBs are.
If you juke with a lot of quarterbacks, their juke is not even going to animate. So Justin Fields comes equipped with some ability to juke, and he utilizes it there really well. I think he held the ball too long. I think the wheel was open early.
He had circle on the dig as well. I think he's getting a little bit too afraid early on. If he waits a little bit, I think he has it.
It's just a hard thing to do. He's been watching playoff games all day too, and these pass rushes have been crazy. But just to say, Steady's pass rush is probably not one of the top ones remaining in this playoff. So if he could be a little bit calmer in the pocket, it'd probably serve him well.
And I think he has the. I think he had X, but I think his O-line also, he invested a lot into his O-line. His O-line is one of the few in this league that can actually stand up against these amazing pass rushes. I think he needs to just, slow down his internal clock a little bit and try to see what reads come open.
Oh, definitely. And you know what? I just realized that this is Nico's cast. He's able to see, I didn't want to say anything, but he's able to see the blitzers, which is really nice. I guess it's his quarterback or maybe an offensive line. Oh, it's his offensive line. It was Chris Lindstrom. Lindstrom had a blitz radar or whatever. So he's able to see the blitzers. Unfortunately for him, it doesn't make a difference on this drive. Instead, he's chomping at the bit to add to this lead that he probably feels he should have ballooned us a fair bit more. But he needs to be careful. He's thrown 3 interceptions so far, and another one could end up being a pick 6, which would be huge for Nico, bad for Steady. We'd love it because it would make the game closer, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we know Steady's not one to go.
My
he
goodness.
might throw another pick. Wow.
Yeah, and it honestly was pretty close to almost maybe being a safety. The quarterback was about to be hit there in the end zone. So, I mean, this is a tough spot for him. Steady's the type of guy that probably doesn't feel like it's too tough. But Nico did make that last play pretty tough on him, and maybe Steady's starting to get a little bit unrattled. Like we haven't seen it that often. But is throwing some interceptions today, which is pretty uncharacteristic for him and Corey Jackson.
And I gotta say, I think the fact that Steady threw 3 picks and the fact that Nico only has 3 points to show for it, I think that's really bad for Nico. He needed to get some points off those turnovers. I don't know that we're gonna see Steady make a mistake again.
Well, there's two halves of the football game, and in the first half, Nico is probably not going to be down by any more than what would that be, 18? Not ideal, but if he can hold him to 3 here, it's a very doable game, especially by the turnovers he's already faced or forced. He just needs to come with a totally good halftime speech and do something completely drastically different in the second half. But Steady also is wanting to correct things and do things different in the second half himself.
Yeah, I mean, I think the encouraging thing for Nico, like, wide receivers have been open this game. He's been making them.
Big throw.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Steady finds the deep. I think that was his rookie. That was his rookie. And 21-3, Nico has to be careful here to probably not give the ball back before the half. But if he can get a field goal or even manages a touchdown, would be big for him. There is a lot of time, and he has 3 timeouts. But Steady is seemingly starting to put his foot on the pedal, and I'm not sure Nico can catch him at this point. A kick return is possible.
Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna have to see what happens here. I'd imagine Nico wants to get points on this drive, but he might want to play it safe considering how his offense has gone so far. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to learn here, and there's a lot of good things that he's done, but unfortunately, it just hasn't really equaled more than 3 points to this point. But this is a very aggressive Philadelphia defense right now, and possibly Nico could find something to exploit. Maybe. He's in the shotgun. Justin Fields has all the time with that offensive line. This time the knockout does. So look at this. There's an adjustment here. I think at this point his receiver did a conservative catch, so he couldn't get hit by the knockout that did light up, and that was a good adjustment from a prior big moment. So may indeed get into field goal range. He's sitting in the shotgun and has multiple man-beating routes. It maybe looks like man defense. He's going to throw right at the tight end. The big old tight end's going to muscle forward. And, this is as far as Stinky is concerned, this is still touchdown territory. 25 seconds on the 38. Can Nico pull a Stinky? Remains to be seen. But there is a lot of field in front of him, and that blitz is coming.
Oh, he had circle, I think.
Yeah, but Fields is going. We're not going to see him juke this time. He gets laid out of bounds, but that was great. Stop the clock, 10 yards. That's sometimes running the ball makes you go forward, and if you can get out of bounds, even better. He has the timeout still at his disposal, probably eyeing that left side of the field, and he is going to get out of bounds again. Oh, no, he called the timeout. I'm not sure he had to.
And I think that's why Fields getting out of bounds on the play before was so huge. It allowed Nico to still have the timeout.
Oh, no. I hate this.
Why are we running an RPO?
Yeah, I do not like that. We cannot run the ball here.
Yeah, he audibles out of it, which I like better because you want the ball, you want the clock to stop on an incompletion.
I'm not liking all these vertical routes either. I mean,
yeah, I think he might be tempted to throw a circle and Steady may cover.
There you go.
Got it.
Ooh, there you go.
Touchdown pass. What a drive for Nico to get some momentum going to the second half and make this a lot tighter ball game. Awesome drive by Nico. Are you guys impressed?
Yeah, man. Nico really showed his back was against the wall. And, if Nico doesn't go down and score right there, it's very well might just be game over. But Nico showed us he's got it in him. He's got some heart. He went down and got some points on the board.
Yeah. Honestly, I can relate. I recently had a playoff game against the Lions. I started pretty slow, was able to find my footing. And if Nico can find his footing, he's shown that his defense can get stops. And now he's shown that his offense can score points. So Steady has something to think about. 12 seconds may not be enough time for Steady to get in field goal range, but I certainly wouldn't count him out.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't like Nico coming out in anything but prevent right now. Steady only has 12 seconds. It's highly unlikely he'll be able to get
He's
into field
chucking
goal
it
range.
deep, I can guarantee you.
Oh
Yeah,
my,
he
he's
might.
got
Oh, he has
That's
a
going to be a
pick. This is a
turnover.
pick.
Oh
Holy
my
cow.
God.
Oh,
Holy cow. Who is that?
What?
Is that Ridley?
I
That was insane. That
Watkins.
looked like a pick all the way. What an
he's done
unreal
punt.
loss.
I
Yeah,
think we're
he's
just.
not
I think
even going
Steady's
for the
just-
field goal.
I think Steady's just gonna see if he likes to look. I don't think we're gonna see as those close.
Quez Watkins just did that. That's insane.
There's no way he
That's
snapped
probably
the
the least.
ball.
That's
I think
the
he's
least
just.
likely receiver to make that catch.
I think Steady is probably a little frustrated right now. He was not expecting this game to be close. I would honestly not be shocked to see him snap this ball.
No,
and go
no
for a
way. I think
touchdown
he's
here.
just saying if he likes to.
Wow,
Oh my
he
God.
snapping
is
the ball?
snapping the
Wow.
ball. I don't
And
see
there is
anything right
nothing
now.
open.
Wow, he
still
holds
gets
on to the
Wow.
touchdown catch.
Wow.
The late user shift takes Nico out of the path of the throw, opens up that spot, and Steady capitalizes. Big spot for Steady to reclaim that touchdown lead. Bad for the cast, good for Steady.
That was just an unreal dot, man. Like that was. I can't believe he made that pass. That's insane.
Man,
Yeah,
if I'm
Stone's-
Nico, I'm feeling sick right now. That's
That's
heartbreaking,
awful.
man.
It's. I mean, honestly, that Quez Watkins play super fortunate for Steady. I mean, everybody can say, "Hey, something went my way, something went his way." That went Steady's way because that looked like a pick
I
the
mean,
entire way.
So far,
but
the
that
ball has
second
just
throw-
not bounced Nico's way. I mean, Steady's gotten 2 touchdowns on drives where he should have thrown interceptions. Now Nico's gotten a thrown under pressure interception. Like, ball is just not bouncing his way. I mean, maybe we'll see something. Maybe we'll see some of that luck bounce right back towards him this half. But right now, if I'm Nico,
Yeah,
I'd be
it's-
upset.
Yeah, I mean, Nico is going to have to find some defense, but I mean, we weren't expecting to have so much maybe excitement in the first half of this game, but I'm glad we have. But the last bit of excitement has made it an 18-point lead again. Steep hill to climb, but I doubt we're going to see Steady just clock the game and go away from the pass. So there will be opportunities for this pass rush and this pass defense to make something happen. And on these interceptions, I mean, Nico just has to be wishing that on the interception he could have just returned it for a touchdown. You know, that could be picked.
God.
Oh, he is going to cut back. That's Josh Jacobs going up strong.
You know,
nice throw,
Steady,
nice read.
he started slow, but I think he's starting to catch fire now. He's starting to feel himself, man. But we might be getting close to blowout territory here.
Let's say this: Steady has been a real hero. This league loves activity. You know, the rings stuff people talk about, this and that, but we love activity, and Steady has been streaming all day.
Indeed.
Talking and commentating on games. So you might just been seeing a little bit of fatigue from someone. Whoa.
Oh.
The DB doesn't really react, but the DB might could have gone up and gotten that ball too. Steady's slinging it. He's gunslinging it. He has an 18-point lead. He is a very skilled player and passer, but he's given Nico some opportunities for big defensive plays.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Nico, I'm gonna keep coming out in this all game. I don't think anyone's forced Steady to make more bad throws than he has so far.
Wow.
And
User-
again, we should see a pick. Wow.
That's
That
crazy.
doesn't
So
matter.
Nico's exactly where you want to be. I don't know if Edmonds has lurker. I know he has like inside stuff. I know he's a skilled linebacker, but unfortunately for Nico there, he doesn't do anything when against a running back in space, going up for a pass. So Steady's slinging it. Steady's just trying to throw some hot dots, and Nico unfortunately hasn't been able to capitalize on some spots that could have gone his way. And that
Oh
looks
my
like a
God.
touchdown.
And that's the speedster. I think that's the rookie we drafted inside of the first round. He's Corey Jackson connects with him on the touchdown. 25 points, man. Nico has some work to do.
Yeah, Nico has his work cut out for him. And let's just say this. I am impressed by a lot of the things that Nico has done, but he is facing one of our leading Super Bowl winners in the MKL, a very skilled player. And for a while there, he's kept it pretty interesting. But, for Steady to pull away, it's nothing that Nico should have to hang his head about. But the game's not over. I would love nothing more than to see Nico close the gap, go down, maybe do another 35-second touchdown drive. That would be great for him. But we have to see it happen. I'm not sure how it's going to happen, but I'm up for it. What do you guys think? Probably the run game is done being utilized at this point.
Yeah, I think at this point you got to pass.
Yeah,
You don't have
this point, it's a pass.
you don't have time on the clock. Time is your biggest enemy right now.
I think the biggest runner at this point is probably going to be Fields. But he does find the wide open Mr. Cook and breaks a tackle.
There you
Almost
go.
broke another tackle, maybe. And, that only took a few seconds, and he made a chunk of yards. And, he's going to chuck it downfield. So he has Hot Route Master, and that is that outside route that we've seen utilized. I think Circle might be his read here. It would have been. But that was a big sack.
It looks like Steady is sending the A-gap blitz right now. That's what it looks like to me. Steady is sending the A-gap blitz.
So I guess there's a blitz up the middle that Steady is fond of in this dollar, and it doesn't give Fields time to read that out route. And at this time, I think the out route was bagged. But look at Fields. That is so Justin Fields-like. People think that there's fake moments in the game or this and that. That's real. That's exactly what Justin Fields does in a situation like that, even though he's no longer a starter. So we're going to be looking and seeing Justin Fields in the shotgun. Let's just say this as well. Nico loves Justin Fields. He loves the Bears.
He does.
He wants to have a good showing, and he would love for Justin Fields to have a good game. And there's still time. There's still time for Justin Fields to finish this half strong.
Fields needs to snap the ball
off. He does.
Well, he had the running back if he would have waited.
That's not it. Wow, what a catch.
Wow.
That sort of makes up for the earlier one where the tight end throw was off target, because that one could have been picked if EA decided differently.
Yeah.
Nice play.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't fault Nico a little bit here if he does feel like he's been a little robbed this game. He has had I think Steady's definitely had a lot more plays go in his favor than Nico has. But Nico needs to get that out of his head at this point and just look for the open guys.
I just gotta say, man, people drop back. Like Nico just dropped back about 25 yards.
Well,
that's gonna hurt your passing ability drastically.
I think the reason he is having to drop back though is because he doesn't know how to block the A-gap blitz that Steady's currently sending. I think that is why he's having to drop back every single play, because he's just coming in all the way through. If you look at the left middle linebacker, he's usually coming in through unblocked.
Well, certainly that would be really tough to contend with. And the drop back has been. Okay. I like that.
That was really
Yeah.
interesting. I was not expecting that to work.
Yeah, so it looks like a run. Honestly, back in the day when I got to play with Michael Vick a lot, like that's the strategy. You get a mobile quarterback on the edge, you make him think run, then you stop and throw the pass, and he did that excellently. And here's the thing. He's knocking on the door. He has to be careful not to take a sack, not to throw a pick. Wisely throws away. He doesn't like what he sees. If you get a score here, the game's interesting. If you don't, game is far less interesting. So we all would love a touchdown here, shy of Steady. But he has to find a way to get in the end zone without the run game, which really is the Bears' bread and butter. I don't know if I love the play, but it might work. Maybe Pittman on the left, you guys think?
I think the read circle, triangle, square. I don't know. Okay, now it's probably circle, triangle, X.
Yeah, I like the X and triangle combo, and maybe the flat if that blitz. Oh, okay.
That was probably. I think it's circle.
You gotta press hike. That's
circle.
for sure. I think X was the read. Oh, X was so.
I think he had it. I think he had circle too. Maybe I don't know for sure, but I think if he freeforms the inside a little bit, he had it, and he also did seem to have X wide open. We're gonna see the A-gap blitz again.
Yeah, I guess Steady has found a way to have this dollar blitz at his disposal. Normally we lock defensive plays every 5 calls, but I guess he's found a way to duplicate this blitz scheme that he has out of various different play calls.
Wow.
Right window. Yeah, that's probably his worst throw of the day. Unfortunately for him, comes in a spot where he really couldn't afford to have it. And 25-point lead, Steady with the ball, 2 minutes left in the third. It's probably Jovert, but there's a lot of good things Nico's done in this game.
I think that was just one of those throws where it was like, oh, it's 3rd and 17, man. I need something to go my way, and he's just hope for a prayer.
Sure. Well, look at okay, never mind. I was thinking maybe Steady would go away from the pass in the spot. I don't know why I thought that. But Corey Jackson hasn't had a game. So this is a great stat line, really, by most people's standards. 340 yards, 4 touchdowns, but the 3 interceptions looms large in Steady's head. He'd love to have probably finish with 8 touchdowns if he has these 3 interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, we know Steady's going to keep going for stats. He's not one to give his opponent even a chance to catch up once he gets the lead, and I think that's what we're going to see the rest of the game.
Well, I think also Steady, he's seen a lot of zone defense and one of the better zone defenses in the league. This Bears team has been a good defense all year and give people problems. And Steady seems to have figured it out. Unfortunately for Nico, a little bit too couldn't be. Nico's offense took a little too long to get going, and obviously never really got going.
I think going forward for Nico, like, the biggest takeaway from this game is that he absolutely can compete in a game like this. I mean, if the ball bounces his way a few more times, he needs to get a few better receivers. He's got some turtles out there. I don't know how Michael Pittman's still even in the league. He should have been cut 7 years ago, but I don't know. I think Nico gets the speedster, and I mean, he's good in real life, but I would not advise choosing him in Madden, especially when your number 1 receiver, DJ Moore, he's not exactly a speedster either.
Well, I mean, just look at
your QB.
Stats leaders bias. It's no secret that all the guys in the MKL that lead the league in receiving every year are the 99 speed players. It happens.
I mean,
it's just so important.
You need a guy who can just take the top off of defenses, someone who you have to be worried about every time they're on the field, and Nico just doesn't really have that. It makes it harder for him in general.
Maybe something he'll be looking to add to this team. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I think if he adds a nice receiver, cleans up the passing game a little bit, I think he could be a scary team next year.
Yeah, and I'm proud of his effort here. I've played with Nico a long time, and I think he's put a lot of time into this team. Nothing to be ashamed at. Having difficulty stopping Steady. Steady's a very skilled player, and you were the one here to meet him in the playoffs. Unfortunately, Steady did come to play and cleaned up some early mistakes.
Absolutely.
So 6 minutes of talking now. All the other playoff games are finished, and this one is pretty much kaput. We'll still comment if some things are interesting. But we have remaining the Chiefs and the Ravens, the Falcons, and likely the Eagles. I think the Ravens might be the biggest surprise at this point to be teams that are left. Mm-hmm. How do you like their chances, Ducky, against the Chiefs next week?
I would say I think what's going to happen next week is Stinky's going to score 14 early, and then D'Angelo's probably going to crash out and leave the league by halftime. But hopefully we don't see that.
Yeah, hopefully not. I mean, this is D'Angelo's best season he's been here. Oh, wow. Yeah. Unfortunately for Nico, he couldn't see anything downfield. Took a big sack, minus 16 yards. I think that Stinky is the favorite in that matchup, but I am proud of D'Angelo for making it to the AFC Championship. Not an easy thing to do in this league. Make it to a championship game. And if he can come to play, Stinky doesn't always play perfect games. But he is playing strong this year, so it's going to be tough for him. And then we're likely going to see the Falcons and Eagles. We just saw it week 18. Certainly most of the league rooting against the Falcons. It looks like the Eagles certainly gave the Falcons a lot of trouble. It was a low-scoring game, and it's an interesting matchup to say the least. Do you think Steady can maybe figure out this Falcons team fourth time's a charm?
I think that.
Sorry, I was reacting to that.
Do you want to go, Ducky? Or
me too? Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I think this Eagles team from the first 2 seasons is completely different. I think this team is like much better, much evolved. But I also do think this Falcons team is probably like the best team in the MKL. I think either the Falcons or the Chiefs are the best 2 rosters inside the league. And I don't know that Steady's going to be able to overcome those 2 edge rushers that the Falcons have. I think those guys are just way too good. I think we saw that H-Coke move the ball pretty well on the Falcons. But I think at the end of the day, the pass rushers just took over. I think we also did learn something that like Ragin had it in him. So I like how I'm talking about you in third person when you're literally right here. But anyway, Let's just continue to do that. We did learn that Rajan had it in him to come back from a little bit of controversy. I think Rajan is the favorite, and I think he more than likely will win. But I think Steady definitely has it in him to probably to have an upset and win the game. But I think Rajan is probably the favorite. As Nico hits a nice little corner out,
Nico is finding something here, and maybe that A-gap blitz is slowing down. And I appreciate the kind words. I definitely think I have a shot against Steady, but I know that Steady is capable of beating me. It's going to be a good matchup, maybe one a lot of people saw coming. But H-Coke definitely gave me a lot of difficulty last week. But we're looking at Nico trying to finish the game off strong on a high note, and he is. He's moving the ball well. I think Steady has kind of let off a little bit of the blitz pressure. Just run, bro. Just run. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'm not mad. Hey, D'Angelo Malone, Super Bowl MVP for the Falcons, making the big sack. Maybe he'll be MVP of the game now because he got that sack. Anyways, Justin Fields has been having a good drive until that moment. And I think that's one thing that's just hard when you're not super comfortable passing. You sit in the pocket just a little bit too long. You can't find the read you need to find as quick as you need to. Never mind. Steady has not called off the dogs. Big sack there. We might see Nico just opt for a field goal if he can get a few more yards. Who knows? Maybe he'll chuck it. Hey, he's going to get open guy. Hey, there we go. Yeah, good throw. Good throw and catch.
32 points down. This game sadly appears to be over, but Nico's
over.
Fighting.
He's still fighting. There you go. Take off. Rumble, young man, rumble.
Scary. One thing I will say about Justin Fields is his carrying is pretty high, man. He doesn't really fumble. Watch him fumble this next play, but he's been pretty good with the ball in his hands. We saw him hit a very nice juke earlier in this game. He's showing his wheels off today. One thing I would like to say, I don't know if Nico's going to watch back this cast, but I'll definitely tell him. I think he should, and the next thing he should invest in is passing the lead. I think that's going to help take this.
I think he got it.
He already has it.
Yeah, he has every ability Desmond Ritter has except for one. He has Hot Route Master instead of Protected.
Okay.
He also has the Long Range Jedi, which I think is interesting.
Oh, never mind. Maybe he has two different abilities.
Ooh, that's a nice
hot read.
Nice stop from Nico, yeah.
I don't think the scoreline truly indicates how close this game was at one point. I think this game was, in the first half at least, it seemed like it was going to be a good game. I think Nico did some really good things this game. He kind of did show that he can compete with the big dogs. I think the thing Nico should work on, though, is his passing offense. I think this next season, I know he's a runner. I know he likes to run. I think he should try to evolve the passing game a little bit. We saw some flourishes of what he's capable to do. His route combos, again, they didn't look bad. There's just, he needs to work on, getting used. It's very clear he's not used to passing all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree.
I think we're probably going to see Steady drain some clock here. You go, Duck?
I was going to say, I think next season what you have to do is you have to just force yourself to get comfortable with the passing game and work on that all season. So when it comes to playoff time, you're ready to face something like this when the run game's not working as well as you'd like it to be.
Well, never mind. Maybe Steady is still looking to add to the Corey Jackson stats, and he doesn't love throwing interceptions. He does find a nice comeback to Mr. Ridley. Maybe he'll put Chew Clock on. I'm not sure it's a rule, but I think he did not. But that's okay. He doesn't have to do anything in the playoffs. I think we take away a lot of that 35-point rule stuff here. And he is just going
we're going to see a touchdown here.
Wow. Mr. Ridley, there's that guy. This is a guy, I'll say it every time. I aggressively tried to trade up for him. I loved this player. I wanted Nick to draft him. He didn't show up for the draft. And I did talk to Steady about liking this player. I wasn't sure he'd like him because he's not 99 speed. Usually Steady likes that. But he did like him, and I'm glad he's found a good home. I'm sure he plays a lot better for the Eagles
with that height,
than for the Falcons.
If you can get some abilities on him, maybe get red zone threat, he could be a real threat in the league.
Oh my God,
he should go star this year. Yeah, so Steady's tax on the points. Nico went and got his. He can't be too upset. But as far as karma goes, just chucking the deep bomb in the playoffs. I don't love it, but I love Steady, so I'll just leave it at that. So we have Justin Fields in the shotgun saying, okay, maybe I can do something on my own. And it looks like he might bomb him.
We are going to see a touchdown.
All right.
This game's not over
Touchdown.
yet.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. He
the
gets
one.
caught from behind.
And the clock
At the
is
1 yard
ticking.
line.
Will he just drain the clock and try to score with less clock so Steady doesn't get another opportunity? Who knows what types of gamesmanship we'll see here. I'd like to see Justin Fields just run it in.
Running back swinger out of the backfield is so
He's got a touchdown
We're
throw.
going to see
and
a
he gets it.
touchdown. That's a good
Hey.
read. I mean,
Justin Fields found himself here late in the game, a little bit too late, but so did Corey Jackson. And I think that Steady will be content, maybe, probably not, but maybe to just let the 24 seconds run out. Maybe Nico will call timeouts. Who knows?
yeah, I think if you're Nico, I think next time you play a guy like Steady, I think you want to start coming out in those like spread bunch looks more. Plays like that, I mean, they seem to be working way better than I thought they would. The minute Nico's moved away from the run game, his offense has looked much better.
Honestly, I agree with you. I think his early drives were killed because Steady was ready to stop the run. But when he opened up the passing game, he actually had some stuff that was working for him. So some stuff to think about, some stuff to learn from. Steady is going to bomb him again, bro. Steady is going to go for a 24-second deep throw to
And
Mr.
he's not
Ridley,
going to
and
get
he
this one.
He is going to get it.
Wow.
Oh, shit, bro. He calls a timeout. Steady is saying, no, sir, you will not only lose to me by 25. I am going to run this score up. You are going to know that you face me. Look at Ridley, 250 yards. Yeah, this was the best.
Calvin Ridley's younger brother once 800 yards.
Way bigger brother, Frankenstein of a brother. So we've got
yeah.
Mr. Josh Jacobs juking and weaving. He's going to
find the end zone. He's going to score. My only question is, are we going to see the NFC Championship game tonight?
I have to do some charting. I have completely neglected doing charting, but Steady stays up pretty late. Unfortunately for the league, if it does get played, what time is it now? Like 11? 11:15. If it does get played tonight, it'd probably be pretty late. I'm not sure how many people would tune in. And I know Steady's pretty tired. I could probably play, but I do still have to do life.
I don't think it matters. D'Angelo's not going to play until tomorrow, it seems.
Yeah, D'Angelo.
Yeah, we may take a breather. We've had a good marathon. This is maybe the best MKL's ever done. Hats off to Steady. This is actually his stream. That he's not watching it. I don't. He's not like that. He would not care to do that. But he's been streaming all day to make sure that the divisional round has been all casted, and we have succeeded in that fact, which is pretty sweet. Pretty cool for the MKL to do that in season 6, and yeah.
And I don't know how many. A lot of people on the MKL, but I don't know how many leagues are doing that season 6, man.
I think it's just a testament to the love for the league that we have in this league. A lot of opinions on what people want to have happen, and some maybe decent ideas and thoughts and this and that. But overall, it's a league that is still going, so we're doing something right. All right, so Justin Fields has one last chance to chuck it downfield. Steady seemingly does not want that to happen. But I would just like to see Justin Fields take off. I want to see what he can do running downfield against a bunch of run. Oh, okay. Well, he's out of
No.
Hey, Eddie moves on. He will face the Falcons. They had a very tight defensive game in the NFC, or in the week 18. The Falcons have taken the last 3 meetings, but the Eagles have gotten closer and closer and closer. This could be their moment to break through and get back to the Super Bowl. And then the Chiefs versus the Ravens, they are really the Chiefs have been rolling. And they're just a super talented team led by another 4-time Super Bowl winner, just like Steady. And then we have the Ravens, the Cinderella right now in the league. Sometimes people may not like him for his scheduling or this and that, but we all enjoy a good story. And if the Ravens can come out on top of that game, that would be amazing, really exciting for the MKL. So good luck to Ravens, Chiefs, Eagles, and
Falcons.
And Bears. Congratulations on your best MKL season yet. And I'm done.
I don't know where Steady.
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
welcome,
Steady.
Steady.
Congratulations,
Congrats
sir.
Oh,
You
thanks,
sure,
man.
you sure slung that football.
I mean, you
and
know,
late,
we play to the last whistle. You know, I mean, the game's never
You
over
sure
till
do.
the fat lady sings and whatever. And
Indeed, indeed. Oh, well, I was telling them I'm a little tired from a long casting day, and I do have to do some charting. Um, but after the charting, maybe I could play later tonight if you're feeling up to it.
I'm like, man,
But
I was
D'Angelo,
like so checked out. Like it took me a long time
yeah,
to
yeah,
not be an
lock in.
idiot. Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah. D'Angelo is probably not going to play Stinky tonight, anyways. So we could maybe.
I think we can not do that. That's okay. You know,
Yeah, all right.
you and I can wait.
But hey, great. You did what you had to do. It was interesting to start, and like you said, you weren't maybe locked in like maybe other efforts.
Yeah, I was just chucking. I
But
mean,
Nico did some good things. We were proud of some of the things Nico was doing as well.
I'd
So
like to apologize to Corey Jackson. You know, that's on me. You know,
Yeah, I mean, we were
wasn't
in
putting,
shock at some of the throws he was making early in the game.
you know,
But, seems he picked it up.
you know, we got cold feet. You know, we weren't really in there like we would like to be, and you know, it took a while to get in the groove. I mean, I was feeling good early, and then Skylar came in my room and kept telling me about stuff that I don't care about, and I was like, man, like I am not locked in. This is terrible.
Hey, I'm gonna advance right now.
Okay.
So nobody jump in and think you have to advance.
I mean, that would be tragic.
Every game's played, so that's fine. Yeah, that would be tragic. All right, we're advanced.
All right, well, you know, and the cast. So Ducky came in to give his thoughts. Or
Yeah,
Ducky was here a lot of the time. I mean, the whole time actually. Yep.
Oh, well.
Yes, sir. It was a good cast. I mean, it was a tired. We were talked about the marathon of casting, and we were happy that it was interesting for a portion of the game, and then it was still just fun to talk for a little bit.
Oh man.
I was so sad he threw that pick after he got a pick. Thought he had
He immediately. Well,